Hey everybody. So I'm highlighting this issue here on the screen right now because Keir Starmer, when he went to meet with President Trump last week, said that we had a long history of free speech in this country and that there's nothing wrong with free speech in Great Britain at the minute. I disagree, and I'm guessing many of you disagree out there that we don't have free speech in this country, and I'm just going to prove that point right now.
Okay, so
what do you mean I can't have any alcohol?
okay, well I'll tell you. Okay, the time's 20 to 3, 14:40. I'm arresting you on suspicion of improper use of the Electronic Communications Network.
What?
127 Communications Act.
Right, so basically we have Malicious Communications Act here in the UK, and that was originally set up to combat stalkers, people that were online stalking people and in real life, and it would stop that. It's become this nebulous law that if people are just merely offended, causing harm, distress, and being offended by it, then you get arrested for it, and that's where this has gone. It's a completely nebulous law, and this is what has happened over many years. The police have got more and more power, that the laws that they enforce have become so nebulous that they include everything. And this is where we are now. Now we are in an era where people who say stuff on social media that other people are offended by get arrested because they're causing alarm and distress to somebody else. It's ridiculous. We've criminalised speech in this country.
Okay, so you do not have to say that may harm or offence if you don't mention one question, subject to later or iron call. Anything you do say may be given evidence. Do you understand that?
So I'm actually being arrested?
You're going to be arrested, okay?
Right.
So you get to the police station.
Right.
Okay, this is in relation to some comments that you've made on a Facebook page.
Right, so this is in relation to comments he's made on a Facebook page. In the meantime, this country is in an epidemic of crime. We have record numbers of burglaries that are going unsolved, that are just not investigated. We have a knife crime epidemic, and this isn't just in London. This is countrywide. In every town, city and village, we have a crime epidemic. But the police and their hierarchy choose to prioritise speech on the internet instead of tackling actual crime to make the streets of this country safe. It's ridiculous.
Okay.
Oh, really? Oh, it's a Facebook crime, is it?
Okay.
Right.
So we need to ask you some questions about that.
Right.
Just want to add as well, in the meantime, we have countless members of the Pakistani grooming gangs in this country walking around the streets free, who the police know have committed sexual assault against young girls in this country, but they're walking around free. Those crimes are not investigated. Instead, we are choosing to investigate grandfathers on Facebook for things they're posting on the internet. That's the priority of the police now.
I got my keys. No, that's about it, I think. Keys.
So, anyone who's been arrested, we can search them under Section 32 of the Police and Criminal Evidence Act.
Right.
Right, so this is what a lot of people are saying. The process is the punishment. It's not being arrested. This guy will probably get released later in the day with no further action taken. It's the process that's the punishment. It's to cause fear in the population. That if you say things we don't like on the internet, then you might get a knock on the door from the police. You will be arrested and you will be searched and held at a police station. It's the process that's the punishment, and it needs to stop. It needs to stop.
It's a dangerous item.
You said I was going to be arrested under some what information? I'm going to be arrested for posting on Facebook.
Some comments that are offensive, obscene, and people have made a complaint about that, and it's
So that could be subjective. Anything that anybody says could be seen as obscene and offensive. I could say the most benign thing to somebody and they could see that as offensive and obscene to them. I mean, I could make some comments about vegans. I could say, I think they're idiots. I think people should be allowed to make their own choices about what they eat, and a vegan might see that as offensive and obscene. And then are you saying to me that you would now come round to my house and try and arrest me for saying that? It's subjective. Language is subjective. Anybody can interpret what you're saying in any way they like. This is why the law should stick, and the police should stick to actual actions of violence, not words. They should police what people are actually doing physically, not what they're saying. Because anybody can say they're going to go out and do something violent, and then we have to take in, what should be taken into consideration is, are they actually capable of carrying out that action? And if not, doesn't matter. And some of these things, sometimes these things are victimless crimes. Nobody's actually complained about them. It's because some busybody police officer has come across them on the internet and has taken offence themselves at what they've seen in this regard. It just makes me so angry.
Can you tell me what this comment was?
Would you
Okay, well, we'll do that when we interview.
Alright, and so what am I...
Okay, right. So is the reason they don't want to mention what he's been arrested for is because they know it's benign, and they don't want to mention it because they know he's recording, and when they get him to the police station he won't be recording anymore, and that's when they'll tell him what he's been really arrested for. You should tell him, well, you made certain posts about a certain subject and this is why we're arresting you. He has a right to know what he's being arrested for. And I'm guessing this guy was probably released, because this is a pretty old clip actually. It's only just gotten traction because of recent comments made by Keir Starmer that there's free speech in this country. So obviously people have been looking for instances where there is no free speech in this country, and you don't have to look very far, really, do you?
Going to be locked up for the night, or...?
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not.
Right, do I need to take my medications with me?
Yes.
There are literally criminals running around on the streets that are committing serious crimes, and they say, well, we don't want to lock you up for making dirty words on the internet, but we don't know yet. Disgusting. Just want to point out as well, right, during the Nuremberg trials, it was established that I was just following orders is no defence. Just like ignorance of the law is no defence, so is I was just following orders. Something these police officers really need to take in consideration, because I've said this in previous videos. Regimes change, governments change, attitudes change, and these police officers in the future could find themselves pursued by the law themselves for the actions they've carried out today. Look at how the Nazis were pursued right into their 90s. They didn't escape justice, some of these people. There was people still being put on trial in their 90s because of the crimes they committed. So who knows what could happen in the future. This is something that these police officers need to take in consideration. They're responsible for their own actions in these situations. They have, if they disagree with the orders they're given, they should refuse to carry them out. It's as simple as that.
We will look at taking all of those.
When do you need to take them?
Well, I've got pain medications.
No offence, but how soy does he look? You know, do you really think that this is a guy that could probably take on a maniac, jihadist, Islamist insurgent with a knife? Doesn't look that way to me, and his colleague even less so, in my opinion.
I've got sleeping medication. I've got anxiety medications, which I might take one of those in a bit.
Okay.
You know.
Well, if we take everything with us, then you've got everything there, haven't you?
And then
Okay.
we've got a nurse up there. They'll be able to.
Okay.
They'll be able to come and see you, and then once you've been there, they can assess whether or not medication can be issued. All right. So what we're going to do is, if you want to pop yourself up, we're just going to
You
search.
need the glasses
Search you.
to come with you.
My glass.
I know it's standard procedure. They have to search everybody that they arrest. But again, the process is the punishment. For a guy like this to be searched, he's probably never been in trouble with the police in his life before. And like I said, the process is the punishment. It's the indignity of being arrested that's the punishment. And it sends a clear message to other people that are posting on social media. Be quiet, don't express your opinions, because this could happen to you. And this is exactly why they do it.
Yeah, do you want to take them with you?
Why?
First of all,
Well.
I'm going to seize this, okay, as evidence.
Well.
So it's
And that's where it ends. That's where the
okay. So.
that's where it ends. We're going to have a look at something else, because there's something in in the comments down here as well that I want to look at. Obviously that as well. But this, Mike Ainsbury MP punched a man to the ground, then repeatedly punched him as he lay injured. 10 weeks in prison. Peter Lynch shouted at some police officers, never punched anyone, died in prison. 2 years, 18 months prison sentence. This is our judiciary right now. It's political, it's biased, and it's broken. This made me laugh. We won't arrest a Muslim for child exploitation, but we will arrest you for talking about it. Can't argue with that, can you? Keep London safe from social media. All these memes are true. They're all true. There's one down here that I really want to look at because it's about another case. It's this one here. You know why the grandmothers are being hunted? Daily Mail. Detectives call on grandmother for criticising Labour councillors. It's all political. They're using the police force as their muscle to silence people, to scare people into silence, to stop people being vocal. The most basic foundation of any democracy is being able to criticise those people who govern you. Without that, you don't live in a democracy anymore. It's a dictatorship. And this is only going to get worse. And we were talking about how a civil war could actually start in this country in last night's live stream. And this is how. The more you suppress people and you crush them, eventually they have nowhere else to go. And as JFK said, those who prevent peaceful revolution make violent revolution inevitable. This is Vindicator, signing off.